Hi, hello, Wagwan. Welcome to another episode of the group chat. Today in the group chat, I have a very old friend of mine, Stephon. And before we get into our topic for today, we're going to do a quick little icebreaker so you guys can get an idea of like who we're talking to today. And this icebreaker was, ironically enough, Stephon's idea, where I'm going to give him three conspiracy theory topics, and he's going to pick one and talk about it for like a good 30 seconds. Well,
Yeah,
all right.
sounds good to me.
So the options are aliens, right? Do you believe in them? Think they're real or whatever?
Okay.
Um, Flat Earth or round Earth? Which side
Mm-hmm.
you're on, or like just your overall thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, the Illuminati. Like, just share your thoughts on one of those topics so they can get an idea of like who we got in the group chat today.
Those are some good topics. Okay. And I choose just one of them, right?
Yeah, just pick one.
I'll go for Illuminati. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that one.
All right.
Um,
So share your thoughts. You got 30 seconds.
all right, cool. Illuminati. I think the Illuminati is not what people may like conceive it to be. Like
Mm-hmm.
today, I feel like they over exaggerate, which a lot of things, aspects in life
Mm-hmm.
that they don't want people to really think is true. But in my opinion, I think it's like very like over exaggerated, so a lot of people don't believe what it really is. But I think that the Illuminati is like kind of a large group of people in the music industry
Mm-hmm.
that kind of move different chess pieces so they can promote different topics that they want, whether positive or negative, and kind of push it out to the masses. And music is really influential, so like using that avenue to do it is really powerful. And
Okay.
that group of people,
Okay.
use
Cool.
music to
Cool.
do that.
All right. I didn't have a timer running, but that
Mhm.
sounded like about 30 seconds, so we're gonna go with it.
I think it was smooth.
And just to play off of that topic now, do you think it's just like the music that the Illuminati has their hand in, or you think it's like bigger than that?
I mean, I guess it's a good question. Well, we really don't know what the Illuminati is, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, to
Mm-hmm.
be like a
Right. These
specific,
are just our
but
thoughts.
yeah, but I guess we always like view it as music only, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they kind of have their hands in other stuff too because that the music industry has a lot of power. They got billions. Like at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, these record labels spitting out money to people like with that much money to just move around that easily, they have to have their hands. Well,
And some stuff.
they might have their hands in other stuff.
We gotta be safe, right? We don't got the
Yeah,
type of lawyers they have.
exactly.
So we won't even do any name dropping.
Gotta be quiet.
All right. So that brings us to our topic for today, which is sound frequencies and how they impact us as individuals. So that really goes right into the topic of the day.
Nice little transition.
Yeah. So let's discuss like the idea that certain frequencies have the potential to stimulate or enhance creativity and focus.
hmm Okay. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that statement for sure. A great example I always go to is classical music.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, when they're studying, doing work, they like to listen to classical music a lot because it helps them focus.
Okay.
So the thing with music, there's different frequencies and different sounds,
Mm-hmm.
and really in any aspect of life, every vibration, every sound, all is just a form of a certain frequency. It's a certain frequency. So I think why they say classical music is so beneficial is because just original instruments are always
Mm-hmm.
used. It's like all, I guess, organic. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of things are electronic nowadays, digital music, all these beats that we hear, everything is digital. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not really um, the exact sounds that we may think it is, like, or the exact
Got
frequency,
you. That it is because it
So,
was like man-made, basically.
yeah.
Well, they're all man-made, but
hmm
it was manipulated through non-natural sources versus
Right.
instruments.
Yeah. So, like, processing through computers and stuff, there's certain things that change or
Mm-hmm.
cut off that you won't hear or feel. It's the main thing is the feeling. But yeah, so I think classical music just gives that feeling because it's a lot of like good beneficial frequencies, positive energy frequencies that are inside that music. So I think yeah, it is definitely a gateway to a lot of creativity that can
Mm-hmm.
be brought upon listening to certain frequencies, certain music, and things like that.
Okay, that is interesting. So I
Mhm.
do have like some notes here on the topic, and it was talking about like certain frequencies in music have the potential to stimulate the focus, stimulate your creativity by influencing like your brain waves and patterns. right? So I feel like we've all kind of like have some knowledge of where, like you said, the music and vibration and frequencies, like it creates certain patterns, right? Like we'll see like the heartbeat and stuff like that, where it's like, and all of those things on the monitors. So I guess it, I can see how it plays a role in what you're doing at that time and what you're listening to and how you are interacting with that thing because of the music, right? So you might have like a better flow, which is what I'm saying, like, the patterns create a better flow with classical music versus like some way left field ratchet throw it back type of thing. It's like you can't really tap into your creativity. I think also too, that type of music, it basically dictates what you're doing when you're listening to it, right? So if you got something ratchet on, you're gonna tap into your ratchet a little bit, just a little bit. It depends on who you're talking to.
And there's always a time and place for it too. Like, if you want to be like in a good mood, you're having a good time with your friends, like, that's when you play that type of music. But like if you're trying to focus, get ready for a test, serious, or you got a big task right in front of you, you probably shouldn't be listening to that type of music, because it's not going to put you in that mood
to really be focused. It can be distracting just by hearing it, because music does take you to another place too. I've experienced that, like listening to a music, like listening to some like good soul music that like feeds that inner energy and like take you to like a place in time, like back in the day when life was easier and groceries were cheap and stuff like that.
Got you reminiscing about the good times.
Right. So it's just like that. Yeah, it definitely does something different. Okay, how does the concept of entertainment relate to sound frequencies in music and its impact on our mental or emotional state?
Okay. So again, frequencies are like pretty much in every aspect of life. And then so when it comes to our bodies, like this is when I kind of get really nerdy about this stuff.
But, okay, that's why we're here. Look, that's why we talking about this. I knew you were the guy.
So pretty much our brain, like they send electrical impulses to the rest of our body, right? And so that information or that signal that's being sent to our body. So for example, say you're about to get hit in the face with a basketball, right? Your brain, your eyes is going to see it, send a signal to your brain. Your brain is going to send a signal to your head or your body to react, to move, right? So, and then those signals are sent at certain frequencies. So like, and then for those who don't know, frequency at the end of the day is just the amount of times that a waveform or a signal repeats itself in 1 second. So like if your signal looks like this, if it's like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, you have it 3 times in 1 second, and that's 3 hertz frequency. If you have it 400 times in 1 second, 400 hertz frequency. So that's why, so like 432 is hertz music. That's 432 times in 1 second, and then 440 hertz, which is the standard for music, is 440 hertz. So it's kind of crazy to think about it. Eight set difference of waveforms can make a complete difference in music, because they say 432 is like the universal frequency.
Okay.
Exactly, and it puts people in positive moods. But I digress. But yeah, back to the impulses. So pretty much motions as well. So like you have the left side of your brain, right side. I forget which one is creative, which one is.
I don't remember either. I want to say I'm not even gonna lie for the same one. Don't quote me on it. But I get where you're going. I'm following.
Yeah, one side is a creative, one side is more mathematical or whatever. So they send and receive different frequencies, so at different rates. So like when you have emotions, I guess when you hear certain frequencies in songs or sounds, you'll react differently. Your brain kind of processes it at a certain frequency, I guess, and kind of sends that to your emotional sensors in your body and things like that, and makes you react a certain way. So it kind of goes down to the basic roots of like, all the cells
the
in
human makeup. And it's crazy that you said that and went deeper into it, because I'm pretty sure that everyone can relate to like a time when they were either in a bad mood and they put something on that lifted their mood up instantly, or they put something on that made them feel even worse, right? They'll put that song on that make them miss that person that already got them in their feelings.
Exactly.
Or they'll put on some type of ratchet music, be like, nah, and then start dancing. And then, that's another thing too that creates a vibration is movement of your body. and moving to that to kind of like, really shift your mood and basically kind of like shifting the frequency of your body, your entire being.
Changing that energy,
Yeah.
that's inside of you and around you.
And a lot of people, again, aren't aware of how impactful the things that we consume, and not just only food wise, right? We consume the things that we listen to is a consumption. We're consuming that music is input, and it's really playing a role in like how we go through our day to day. Like I know when I was working at the graveyard shift, I used to put on I had a ratchet playlist for on my way to work.
We all do.
Because
if you don't, you're lying.
Right? Because I already didn't want to be at work, so I needed something to kind of like get me going in a mood where was, I guess, kind of like outside of my norm. It wasn't just like okay. So how does sound frequency play a role in like shaping our memories and influencing or recalling our past experiences?
I think it's super crucial in that aspect, because like when we're listening to songs, like we were just talking about this before, people listen to songs and can relate it to specific moments
in life.
Maybe the first time they heard that song, or a big moment that it got them through. Like there's certain songs I hear when I like have bad relationships. I'm like, that's that song. It just puts me in a certain like a whole mood again, a whole round, changes my energy or whatever. But yeah, I think it always brings back memories of certain stuff, whether good or bad, But because again, it attaches to that I guess the electrical impulses of our
part of the brain,
the frequency, like so yeah.
And it triggers something interesting.
Yeah, so I think that's what makes it really like so easy to connect, kind of
through
because
music.
like I feel like the brain is easier to connect something based off of a memory with a frequency versus someone kind of just saying something. Yeah,
okay,
if that makes sense.
Okay, so basically that music that was vibrating at that time, that someone remembers something, and that exact same frequency coming again, the brain is like, oh, are we still in that time? Because the brain doesn't know time, right? There's no concept. It doesn't have a concept of time.
Probably not.
Don't fact check me on that one.
I'm not an expert in that field.
Yeah, I'm not quite either. I just be thinking I know stuff. So don't quote me on anything that I say on here, y'all. This is just conversations of our own opinions and our thoughts and the things that we've experienced.
Exactly.
But yeah, you were mentioning something about like how it also plays a role with like dementia patients.
Yeah, exactly. So like even with like Alzheimer's or dementia, they become very forgetful of things in the past and everything. And people always mention how they'll listen to a certain song or a certain like nursery rhyme that they heard when they were younger, or not even younger, certain point in their life, right? And that would instantly bring them back to remember a person, that their daughter that they always forget every day, or remember a time that they were dancing with their wife or something like that, So it always like kind of triggers a memory regardless, and they have a disease that causes them to forget things. So music being a frequency to bring it back, that just shows even more the power
of it. Yeah,
exactly. So, so this is big on memories for sure.
Okay. So yeah, it definitely shows you how deep like sound frequency is, and why it's like important to be intentional to the things that we listen to.
Exactly.
Like, especially like the people in the church will say, oh, don't listen to secular music. And I can give a testament to that. Like my previous video, if you guys haven't seen it, where I talked about conditioning, I kind of like go into a little bit details of how music played a role in my personal life. I might link that video also below. So how does the frequency of sound influence like our interpersonal relationships, like both positively and negatively?
Okay, yeah. So when it comes to relationships with different people, I think it weighs heavily on our emotions. So kind of like the way we react and talk to people is like our social skills plays a lot on our emotions and emotional intelligence. That's a whole nother episode.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of people don't understand emotional intelligence, and I feel like that's what makes a lot of things fail, relationships fail, and everything. But regardless, so I think like when emotions, so if you're listening to certain music in a certain space with a certain person, it'll make you have like, say, bring back certain memories from either past relationships with other people, friendships and things like that, and make you kind of I guess blame or like kind of put that person in that situation if you know what I'm saying.
I think I know exactly what you're saying. Like, for example, let's say it's not music related. Someone in a relationship does something that reminds you of that person, right? So let's say they are playing a certain song that that person used to play that like really hurt you. And then every time they do it, it's just kind of like, bruh, it's like you're hurting me all over again. And because I'm not communicating to you that what you're doing is triggering a trauma, because that's pretty much like a trauma response, right? It's a triggering a traumatic like experience that I had and with a completely different person. And because I didn't tell you about it, now we finna fight. Because you're triggering me, and now we just finna fight, and you have no idea why we're fighting.
Exactly.
And that does affect a lot of. That's, I think, probably one of the biggest issues that I have seen in like relationships today is like people are reacting off of past things and things like that's within them that they didn't realize they need to resolve. You know, the traumatic issues, or it may not even be like real trauma, but just like a bad vibe or something that you just needed to acknowledge that it affected you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, again with relationships, I think because it goes along with resonance too. So resonance and frequencies. Resonance is essentially like the reflection of a sound bouncing off of something else, making something else vibrating, creating its own sound, creating its own energy, right? So, and a lot of people, it's like a phrase like I resonate with someone, I resonate with this person, right?
Okay.
So I think that's where it comes from. It's like it's two things vibrating in harmony, like together, like having a connection. So like pretty much like, that's where the whole correlation came from. So people can have that kind of like connection through it. That all came based through frequencies, I guess, kind of. So it's like, it's really interesting. I don't know, like I haven't been able to make the full connections. I want to write a book on this all one day, but
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I can totally see it too. And to play off of like what you were saying as far as like the resonance, it had me thinking about like, like as Jamaicans, we might be like, oh, I'm a spirit and I take that person in, right? And it's like I do not resonate with you at all. And I guess it's kind of like whatever frequency they're vibrating on, right? Whatever vibes they're giving off, it's like it's bouncing on me, and I don't like how that feels.
Exactly.
So it's like I need you out my space, because your vibration, like it's causing me to feel uncomfortable or to feel scared or whatever, that frequency or that vibration from that person is like doing to you. So that's like, again, a whole nother like deep aspect towards just being in like certain spaces. That's why, if you're trying to go for something in life, or be a specific type of person, it's important to be around people that you do resonate with, so that the music can so the music can really like flow. I'm literally just like kind of like thinking about it in real time, how important it is to connect with like-minded thinkers or someone that's vibrating on the same frequency of you, so things can kind of like operate in like harmony. And it's like it's like no, going back and forth, up and down. It's just like the same, riding the same wave, going on the same frequency, that like we're beating at that same, what you said, like 4 or 3 within that same 1 second type of thing. See, exactly. I'm catching. I'm here. We here with it.
Like even like when you think about cars with slipstream. I don't know if you guys play Mario Kart. But when you get behind a car and like they call it slipstream and a car goes faster, those two cars are in sync. So like once you get behind
when that one boosts, you boost with them.
Exactly. So
I know a lot about that. I be beating your friend in Mario Kart. Well, I haven't yet, but sorry. Oh man. Okay. So
that's how frequencies also just plays a part in everything. It doesn't always have to be music. Like just for example, with the car things and everything. That's why I think it really relates in every aspect of life, and visions, and like seeing. By vision I mean like actual seeing, but like even like things that we can our eyes calculate things at a certain frequency too, so we can see but so much. Like you ever see a wheel in a car spinning and it looks like it's spinning
still
backwards?
Spinning.
That's because like
you're processing
it. It's spinning so fast that our brains can't process it fast enough.
So it makes it look like
it makes it look like it's spinning backwards. So I always thought stuff like that was interesting. I kind of learned that in school, and so I just started doing more research on things like that. And it's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, frequency, vibration, and the energy all go hand in hand, and I feel like just change every aspect of life, relationships, everything. Yeah.
Okay. So this particular question, when I had it on here, I wasn't thinking about the fact that we actually shared this experience together.
Mm.
But can you share an example of how specific sound frequencies are used in like therapeutic processes or in like sound healing practices?
Okay, yeah, I like that. So, yeah, we had our little sound bowl,
Hmm.
kind of.
It wasn't really little. Everything I do is big. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay,
Exactly, my
okay,
bad. I don't know why that word even came out.
but yeah, continue.
Yeah, we had our big sound bowl session, and everything. So those of you guys who don't know, Shamika could explain it better. If you don't know what sound bowls are, it's like.
So it's a sound frequency instrument. I think now I feel like more people are familiar with like sound bowls, or at least
Okay.
I see them, but that's because that's something that I'm focused on, and what you
Mhm.
focus on, you end up seeing more of.
Yeah.
But sound bowls are instrument that can use to play specific frequencies, and
Mhm.
each of them also, I mean, align with the 7 chakras of the body, the ones that I have. So it's
Mhm.
like just intentional things that focus on certain parts, certain points in the body, and also like the mind, because everything is related.
Mhm.
Whether it be like, for example, your throat chakra, which was one of the things that we actually worked on that day,
Mhm.
was wanting to be more vocal with the things that we're dealing with,
Mhm.
not being afraid to like speak our opinions or speaking spaces where we typically would feel uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And then that same vibration kind of like helps you. The vibration plus the intention that we set that day is what kind of like helped to actually give us the results that we're looking for,
Yeah.
right? So we're
Exactly.
intentionally wanting to focus on our throat chakra, which is our speaking and our confidence,
Mhm.
and then playing that sound that relates to specifically the throat chakra,
Mhm.
and help kind of like clearing any blockage that's like vibrational blockage
Mhm.
that's within the body. So, but yeah.
Yes, those certain frequencies, it kind of taps into those certain electrical pathways we have in
Hmm.
our body, and it like empowers it in that way. So like the vocal ones, like it'll go to that certain part of our brain that kind of like empowers us in confidence or things like that,
Hmm. Hmm.
and just being honest and straightforward, like because all that, all those emotions and like characteristics that we all have, and like our personalities come from
Hmm.
our brain. So like
Hmm.
those certain frequencies that the sound bowls create is kind of like a therapeutic thing, like speaking to that personality side
Hmm.
of your brain that gives you that confidence or gives you that drive or it gives you that
Hmm.
motivation or anything, this that and third. So yeah, I think it's really, and it also made me kind of think about too people now. I don't know too much on the topic, but I know therapists kind of have like, I don't know the correct term for it, but they kind of do like sound therapy sessions where they play certain music and things like
That's
that
it,
too.
sound therapy.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, no, yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
pretty much that. So as a person who is like into frequencies in music and sound, how was that experience for you, like sitting down with the sound bowls and setting those intentions and
Mhm.
kind of like listening to those frequencies, and like what was your overall like thought during and like after, and did it
Mhm.
like yeah.
Yeah. No, it was really cool to me because it was like helped me dive more into the field and gave me even
Mm-hmm.
more like a realization of how like important and crucial that frequencies and sound is
Mm-hmm.
in our lives. And it was just like as we sat down and like you explained everything to me, like it all kind of made sense because from my own research of like
Mm-hmm.
seeing why frequencies affect us the way they do with like energy and emotions and things like that. And then just while we were doing it and after, I just kind of felt that feeling. And because a thing with music, like because when I'm mixing and mastering
Mm-hmm.
songs, it's like there's certain things that you can change in the song. Like for example, like humans can only hear up to 20,000 hertz of
Okay.
frequencies. And so when you reach to the high 15, 16, 17,000
Mm-hmm.
hertz, it's higher sounds, but it's hard to hear unless
Mm-hmm.
you're not training your ears to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are the type of frequencies that you adjust that change a feeling inside of you.
Interesting.
And so like, and it also works on the low end too, so like 20 hertz
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. We don't really start
Hear it.
physically hearing stuff until like the high double digits, like 80, maybe
Okay.
60. um so yeah, those are like the
Mm-hmm.
basic frequencies. 808s, the booms that you
Mm-hmm.
hear, those are usually around like 60 to 100 hertz, things like that. So when you adjust those 20 hertz and stuff, you don't feel that, but like when you You feel that bass that when it's just really hitting in that one song, really hitting.
When the beat drop.
Yeah, it's that those little frequencies that you can't hear, but your body can feel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that because you were talking about the fact that we can't hear above we said 2,000.
Yeah, 20,000.
20,000. And the ones below. Do those, and I'm pretty sure that those are the ones that probably impact us just as much as the ones that we can't hear because we don't even realize it's happening.
Exactly.
But the body's still like, we're not hearing it, but the body, the vibration is being received by our brain or, wherever it's targeting in the body.
Look at it like microwaves or UV radiation and things like that. Those are frequencies also. And they also explain them like microwaves are just really small waveforms because they have high frequencies. Exactly. So those are probably, I don't know exact, but they're probably way over 20,000 hertz. And they're really small, so they can go into like really small atoms and cells. That's how microwaves warm up food, things like that.
Well, so y'all heard it here before first. Stephon said y'all can go ahead and throw away y'all microwaves. I'm just saying. I'm not either. I stopped using it like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But if anything happens, he said it. I didn't say it. Just letting that be clear.
It's not gonna kill you, but it's not helping you. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I'll co-sign on that one. It doesn't help at all.
So yeah, it goes like with hand in hand with that. So like all those microwaves, they affect us badly. UV light, cancerous radiation. Those are all things that we can't see. Like those are frequencies we can't see. So sound that we can't hear is gonna react the same way.
Play a role
in the same way. Exactly.
Okay. So how can individuals become more conscious of the frequency in the music they consume and use it as a tool for a deeper self-awareness or personal growth? So after collecting all of this information that we just kind of talked about, how it plays a role, how it affects the body, but there's of course good and bad things to it. Like everything, there's kind of like a duality to it. There's like a good and bad, the yin to the yang.
Exactly.
So how can we use our understanding of like music frequencies for deeper self-awareness and self-betterment?
Yeah, self-improvement. Yeah, for sure. So like even starting with 432 hertz, I kind of mentioned it earlier in the podcast. That's like a frequency that is known as the universal frequency, and it's known for like to bring positive energy. So there's like very few artists, not many, but it's becoming more normal, or I wouldn't say normalized yet, but like it's becoming more known. There's like a few artists that use that 432 hertz and they play it in their music, and they make the whole music based off of that fundamental frequency.
Okay.
Yeah. So like Andre 3000, he just dropped the album
without no music. I was really excited. Like when I heard about it, I was like, you're talking about, it's an album with no words or just a flute. I'm like, for those who know, those who get it, where he was going with it without even having to hear it. It's like, okay, it's obviously like a deeper thinking thing because we do know that music affects us, and without having like the lyrics, it's basically you just made a meditation album, and it's an album it's gonna sell. So it's like there's meditation things on YouTube that you can watch for free, but it's not Andre 3000. So it's like that was genius. That was genius for me.
So that was a self-healing project right there. And correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but I'm pretty sure he actually tuned his flute to be in the fundamental frequency of 432.
Okay.
Yeah, because all instruments are tuned, like pianos are tuned in 440 hertz frequencies.
Okay.
Fundamental frequency. So yeah, he tuned his instruments that he used in the whole album to be like that. There's a few other artists that promote that as well. Green Tea Pang, their band, they dropped the whole album in 432 hertz as well.
I gotta check them out.
XXX Tentacion, he used to talk about 432 hertz a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. R.I.P. to him. But yeah, he was promoting that a lot, and like uplifting yourself and having confidence and speaking manifestation and listening to certain music that like puts you into these better moods that so you can better yourself and things like that. We talk about that a lot on these different like little videos.
So now I'm about to kind of like drive the gear back a little bit to what we were talking about in the beginning with that little icebreaker. So do you feel like that's why you see where I'm going with it? Do you feel like that's why his life was ended early?
I think it's possible. If the people that didn't like the things that he was saying wanted a bad thing to happen to him and maybe they weren't the ones to do it, but I think people were plotting on it regardless.
Regardless,
It could have been like, at the end of the day, I'm a realistic person. It could have
It
just
could have been
been
a situation.
a
Yeah.
random situation at the end of the day. But I don't put it past I don't put it past them that
That they would do it.
they would do it. It was a possibility, because like people like that who are strong, like he had like a huge fan base, and it's like he didn't go through commercial record labels. Like, you know, he was doing, I'm pretty sure he was independent the whole time. Yeah, so it's like people like that who have, like, you know, the youth's ear is dangerous in the music industry.
Of course,
because the labels are the ones that can put that image and influence out that they want through those rappers or artists through their image.
And
label.
They make money off of our ignorance.
Yep.
The less we know, the more they make, because we're here consuming all of the music, playing it over and over again. Someone is getting paid off of all of those streams, and what are you getting other than shitty input? Excuse my language, but it, you know, that's the real.
Let's be real, yeah.
So now let's dive into why you're here with me talking about this particular topic. Like, what is your background that led you down this path of like this understanding of like frequency, and what are you doing in your life currently that relates to that?
Okay, yeah. So I've always been in love with music since I was a kid. Been in bands since like 4th grade. Always kind of wanted to take a music path in my life, but I also like computers and stuff. So I ended up going to college for computer engineering. But I also did like music technology on the side, and I started doing mixing and master engineering as a hobby myself since high school on and off. But so I was in class one day, and it was like a signals class for like you know, like electric engineering stuff, and we just started talking about frequencies like real in depth, and they started talking about television and the frequencies that they put out, and that's where I like learned the whole reverse wheel thing on the car. And then so that just got me really fascinated, and I started asking my teacher how it relates to music and things like that. And so I just started researching myself, and that was times where I was still like doing my own music recording and everything like that. So I just got really fascinated in the topic, so just started doing my own little research on it, and like I started seeing how people talked about the 432 hertz frequency. That's around when XXX Tentacion was
talking about it,
popping and everything. So yeah, that's how I just started diving in the field. I'm by no means an expert, but like, you know, I have a lot of like facts and research that I've done yeah, to like at least have some knowledge behind it. And yeah, so now I'm just mixing and master engineer. I'm a part of a record label, an independent record label that me and my friends are trying to start up, and like I have a few friends that are artists, and then so I record for them and everything like that. Yeah, our record label is Litwave. If you guys want to check us out. On Instagram, we're Litwave with 2 T's, LITTWAVE. And I'm managing one of my artists right now, Little Sunday. And he makes kind of like Afrobeat and rap type of music, a lot of uplifting songs. You guys will love it. I'm telling you, he's different. Nobody's making music like him right now, like a different type of sound. Like that's the song that, like, he plays music, you wake up, you about to go to work, have a bad day, you put on a song, all right, I'm feeling better. Little Sunday got me feeling better. But yeah, no, so we're just trying to really take this music label further, and like give people an opportunity to have like a creative space without a music record label kind of like being down behind their like down their throats, and like oh, you got to do this way, you got to drop that this time. Like, no,
so giving you more control and freedom with your music.
This is their art, so like they should be able to do what they want with it. Like, so yeah, so we're just trying to give people that platform, and hopefully incorporate, you know, positive vibration frequencies like into the whole industry down the line.
So that's good stuff. And I'm going to say, you're not trying, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Don't forget that part. Yeah. Okay. You're doing it. You're already doing it. So it's the same thing. You're not going to speak small on anything that you're working on. You're already doing it. You're already started out. You said he's getting ready to drop soon. Do you guys have a date?
Yeah. Not yet, but very, very soon.
Okay.
We have a few songs out right now. 3 singles: Live My Life, In My Zone. Ginger Me just dropped this month. That song is crazy. Haven't heard anything like it. Okay. But yeah, new music coming soon, content, videos, potentially vlogs, podcasts.
Nice.
We got a
Okay.
lot coming.
So by the time you guys see this video, something will probably already be out.
Yeah, most likely
Because I don't have a date yet on when this video specifically is going to drop. But I'll definitely have all of the links so you guys can, tap into what Stephon got going on and check out the artists that he's been working with and, the stuff that they're doing. Because I do know that, it's like you said, your purpose for it too was like to be more intentional about the type of frequencies that you and your artists use, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm here for that. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. So that, guys, is a wrap for this episode.
It was a good one.
It was a good one. But that's that for this topic, y'all. Tune in for our next episode. Don't forget to check the links below. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. We got more stuff coming for you guys. And scene. Now you can say scene.